Sniper rifles seem to have gotten a bad reputation for not being very good in Borderlands 3, and given the fact that some of the best guns from Borderlands 2 were sniper rifles, I can see why people think they suck in Borderlands 3. However, while there are a large majority of crappy sniper rifles in Borderlands 3, there are still quite a lot that are capable of just absolutely wrecking face. I'm Constant Canadian, and this is the top 10 sniper rifles in Borderlands 3. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Coming in at 10th place is the Luda. A while back, the Luda would have been a lot higher on this list, but every DLC released since launch has pushed the Luda back ever so slightly into 10th place. The Luda is a Vladov sniper rifle that has been in both Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, and in both games it has worked the exact same way. It shoots one bullet that will split into 3 after a certain distance. And if you can get all 3 bullets to land on a single target, the Luda will absolutely shred through anything you point it at. However, if you can't get all 3 bullets to land on the same target, then the Luda is actually worse than a purple Vladov sniper. It's this gimmick that sets the Luda back, as a lot of sniper rifles in Borderlands 3 have a much lower learning curve for a lot more damage. All in all, the Luda is still a powerhouse, and it excels against larger or slower enemies with big ol' crit spots. The Luda is especially good on flak, or an infinite ammo fire rate Moze build. If you want one for yourself, it is a guaranteed reward from completing 10 of Zero's bounty challenges, or it can be farmed from tremendous wrecks in the Cistern of Slaughter. Up next at 9th place is the Masterwork Crossbow. The Masterwork Crossbow is a Hyperion sniper rifle that shoots one crossbow bolt in an arching trajectory, pretty similar to the Hail's projectile. However, unlike the Hail, the Masterwork Crossbow does an obscene amount of damage, up to 275,000, which is more than most rocket launchers in this game. The only real downside to this weapon is its tiny magazine size of 1, meaning you have to reload after every shot. Luckily, the reload time isn't too long at only 1.8 seconds or so, and can be made even shorter using class mods, artifacts, and character skills. This weapon is very slept on, simply due to the fact that it only drops from an optional character on an optional map. So very few people even know of this weapon's existence. But it's very powerful, especially in the hands of Flak or Amara if your aim is bad. If you want to farm a Masterwork Crossbow for yourself, you can get it from Urist McEnforcer in Lectra City. In 8th place is the Krakatoa. The Krakatoa wasn't always strong enough to be on this list, but there was a very large buff to its damage on March of 2020, which made this thing an absolutely unstoppable killing machine. The Krakatoa is manufactured by Malawan. When killing an enemy with the Krakatoa, a volcano forms under their feet and erupts fireballs onto the ground nearby, leaving lava pools in their place and dealing a lot of splash damage. Be careful though, because those fireballs can also damage the player too, and they hurt. A lot. Aside from the self-damage and the inherent Malawan charge time, the Krakatoa is an amazing sniper rifle that is especially good for bossing, and is made even more powerful in the hands of Amara. The Krakatoa is naturally locked to the fire element and can drop from any suitable loot source in Borderlands 3, but it has a 15% chance to drop from Tumorhead in Lectra City. Next up at 7th place, we have the Monocle. The Monocle has lower damage than its fellow unique Jacob snipers, but it makes up for it with its 250% critical damage bonus, high zoom, and amazing accuracy. The Monocle is a pretty good all-rounder classic sniper rifle. However, unlike some later entries on this list, it is a sniper, period. If you try to use this thing at close range, you'll have a pretty bad time with its 14.7 times zoom. The Monocle is pretty good on every character, but excels with Flax thanks to his weapon damage. If you want to get one of these things for yourself, it drops from any suitable loot source, but has a 6.7% chance to drop from the Demo Skaggans in the Droughts on Pandora. Coming in at 6th place, we have the Cocky Bastard. The Cocky Bastard is yet another Jacob sniper rifle first introduced with the Guns, Love, and Tentacles DLC. Critical hits with the Cocky Bastard deal an extra 150% bonus shock damage. Pair that with the above average damage, and the Cocky Bastard makes for a pretty exceptional option for most scenarios, especially on Flak. If you want one for yourself, it drops from Aista the Invincible in Skittermaw Basin on Xylorgos, but can also world drop anywhere in DLC 2. Up next at 5th place is the Bird of Prey. The Bird of Prey is probably one of Borderlands 3's most slept on weapons, due to one simple fact. It is a reward from the Fallen Heroes Vault card. That's the same Vault card with the Super Soldier Shield and the Guardian Angel Shotgun, one of the most powerful weapons in the game, so most of the player base don't even notice the Bird of Prey in the menu. With all that said though, the Bird of Prey is amazing, with far above average damage and a 33% chance on hit to summon a falling projectile that deals 600% of the base weapon damage. This falling projectile can also crit, which happens on humanoid enemies pretty often considering the projectile comes from the sky. The Bird of Prey is good on any character providing your aim is good, and is available for purchase for 5 keys from the Fallen Hero Vault card. At 4th place is the Skullmasher. The Skullmasher is one of the few weapons that has been in every single Borderlands game since the original. And while it may not have been super phenomenal in Borderlands 2 or the pre-sequel, in Borderlands 3, the Skullmasher is an absolute destroyer of a sniper. The Skullmasher isn't even really a sniper, more so a long-range shotgun, with the 2nd highest base damage of any other sniper in the game, providing all the bullets land. The Skullmasher shoots 6 pellets at the price of 1, with considerably high accuracy, and as long as you're not too far away, it's not too difficult to land all 6 pellets on one target for massive damage. If you want the Skullmasher for yourself, it can drop from Ista in the Skittermaw Basin on Zylorgos, and from the True Tank of Cunning, as well as world drops anywhere in DLC 2. In 3rd place, we have the Complex Root, a sniper first introduced to the game with DLC 3, the Bounty of Blood. The Complex Root is a Maliwan sniper that can come in all elements. Shots fired from the Complex Root spawn 13 additional projectiles through its path that come off at a right angle and randomly zigzag afterwards. The Complex Root has some crazy interactions and can hit a target multiple times in the same shot. This makes the Complex Root extra good against larger enemies and especially against bosses. The Complex Root is amazing on every single Vault Hunter, but it has some pretty strange interactions with some of Moze's splash skills, so just be careful when you're using it with Moze. If you want one of these for yourself, it drops from Laney Dixon in Ashfall Peak on Vestige. Coming in at 2nd place is the Ionic Disruptor, another very highly slept on sniper. The Ionic Disruptor was added with the 6th and final DLC, Director's Cut. The Ionic Disruptor has a whole bunch of things going for it. It bypasses shields and armor, it has the 3rd highest base damage of any sniper in the game, and can trigger a shock debuff, which makes affected enemies take 100% extra damage for 10 seconds after a melee attack. The Ionic Disruptor is an absolute powerhouse. The main thing holding this weapon back is the fact that its dedicated drop source is Hemovorous in Dark Thirst Dominion on Pandora, meaning it's one of the more difficult weapons to farm in the game. However, with how ridiculously good this weapon is, I think it's only fair that it drops from one of the toughest bosses, and it makes the Ionic Disruptor feel like an amazing raid boss drop, which has been a struggle for Borderlands 3. And finally, coming in at number 1, the best sniper in Borderlands 3. The once SMG turned sniper rifle, the Sandhawk. The Sandhawk is essentially a high fire rate, semi-automatic rocket launcher in disguise. The Sandhawk has the single highest damage of all the sniper rifles in this game. It also has a super tight pellet spread in semi-auto mode, making it pretty easy to land all the projectiles on the same target. The only caveat with this weapon is it eats through ammo like nobody's business. But that is easily countered by a bullet vamp artifact. What makes the Sandhawk even better though is that it drops from Katagawa Jr., who is quite possibly this game's easiest boss come Mayhem 6, which is required for this weapon to drop. The Sandhawk is absolutely phenomenal on any 4 of the Vault Hunters, but it does deal splash damage, so just stand back a little bit when firing it. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. I wanna know, what's your favorite sniper in Borderlands 3? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching and have a fantastic day.